Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Tune in English, where you build real English skills through real conversations. I'm Anna.
And I'm Adam. Today we're talking about three tiny words that cause surprisingly big confusion: by, until, and from. If you've ever paused mid-sentence wondering which one to use, you're definitely not alone.
Absolutely. Even advanced learners mix these up because the meanings are close, and sometimes all three can appear in the same conversation. But by the end of today's episode, you'll feel much more confident using them naturally.
I really need this lesson, actually. I've been working on a website design project for a client, and she emailed me this morning asking, "Can you finish the first version by Friday?" And I suddenly wondered, should I reply, "Yes, I'll finish by Friday," or "I'll work on it until Friday?" It sounds similar, but I know the meaning changes.
Great real life example. Let's start with by, because that's the easiest place to begin. When we say by, we're usually talking about a deadline, the latest possible time something must be finished.
So if my client says finish the design by Friday, that means Friday is the final moment. I can finish on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, but not Saturday.
Exactly. Think of by as a finish line in a race. You can cross that finish line early or right at the last second, but once the deadline passes, it's too late. For example, submit the report by Monday. Pay the bill by the first of the month. I need to be at the airport by 6 a.m.
That image really helps, the finish line. So by is a single point in time, not a long period.
Right. It's like a dot on a timeline. Now, let's compare that with until, because this is where many learners get confused. Until is not about a deadline, it's about duration, meaning how long something continues.
So if I say I'll work on the project until Friday, that means I'll continue working from now all the way up to Friday.
Exactly. Imagine drawing a line from today to Friday. That entire line represents the action continuing. For example, the store is closed until Monday. She stayed at the office until midnight. We talked until the movie started.
I see the difference now. By Friday means finished before or on Friday. Until Friday means continuing up to Friday. That's a big difference, actually.
Yes, and here's a helpful comparison. Finish the report by Friday means the task must be completed before that time. Work on the report until Friday means the activity continues through the week.
Let me test myself. If I say I'll stay at the cafe until 5 p.m., it means I'll remain there continuously and I'll probably leave at 5.
Perfect. And if you say, I'll be home by 5 p.m., it means you'll arrive before or at 5, not later.
That's starting to feel clear. Deadline equals by, duration equals until.
Exactly. Here's another everyday example. I tell my students, turn in your homework by Tuesday. That's the deadline. But I might also say, I'll be available in my office until 4 p.m., meaning I'll stay there continuously until that time.
That makes sense. Actually, last week I worked on a branding project almost nonstop. I stayed at my desk until midnight for 3 days straight. My neck was so stiff from sitting for so long. Oh wait, I just used from without thinking.
Perfect timing, because that's our third word for today. While by focuses on deadlines and until focuses on duration, from usually tells us the starting point, where something starts, comes from, or is caused by.
So in my sentence, my neck was stiff from sitting too long, the word from explains the cause.
Exactly. And from can also show starting time, like I worked from Monday to Wednesday, or origin, like I'm from Canada.
I like how these three words fit together. From shows where things start, until shows how long something continues, and by shows the final deadline.
That's a great way to see the big picture. Now, let's slow down and look more closely at by, because it actually has several important meanings in everyday English, not just deadlines, and understanding them will make your conversations sound much more natural.
Anna.
The first additional meaning of by is location, meaning next to or near. For example, sit by me. The cafe by the station is always busy. She was standing by the door.
That's one of the earliest meanings learners usually pick up, but they don't always connect it to the same word used in deadlines. It's interesting that one tiny word can carry so many functions.
English loves multifunction words. And here's something subtle. When we say, "come sit by me," it often sounds warm and friendly, almost inviting. It gives the feeling of closeness.
True, sit next to me sounds neutral, but sit by me feels softer somehow. Maybe it's just the emotional tone people use when they say it.
Exactly. Now, the next common meaning of by is method, or how something happens. For example, I'll send the file by email. We traveled by train. She paid by credit card.
That reminds me of a trip my sister and I took last year. We decided to travel by train instead of flying, and honestly, it was one of the most relaxing journeys I've ever had. We sat by the window, watched the countryside roll past, and didn't have to worry about traffic or airport lines.
That's a perfect example, and you used by twice in different ways again. Travel by train shows the method. Sit by the window shows location.
I guess once you start noticing by, you realize it's everywhere in English conversations.
Very true. And there's another extremely important use for by to show the person who performed an action in passive sentences. For example, this painting was created by Picasso. The song was written by Adele. The cake was baked by my neighbor.
So in passive voice, by tells us who did the action, the doer, the creator.
Exactly. And we use this constantly in everyday speech, not just formal writing. For example, this logo was designed by Adam.
I like that example. Let's use it often. It sounds very professional.
Of course you do. Now, before we move on completely, let's do a quick recap of by so far. Deadline, finish it by Friday. Location, sit by the window. Method, send it by email. Agent in passive voice, written by the author.
That summary really helps. It's like 4 mini tools inside one word.
Exactly, a small grammar toolbox. Now let's return to until, because there's one especially common phrase learners hear all the time. Not until.
Yes, I hear that everywhere. What exactly does not until mean?
Not until means something didn't happen before a certain time. For example, I didn't wake up until 10 a.m. She didn't finish the report until midnight. They didn't arrive until Sunday.
So everything before that time, nothing happened.
Exactly. If you say, I didn't eat until 2 p.m., it means the entire morning passed with no food, and you finally ate at 2.
That reminds me of a deadline week I had recently. I was so focused on editing videos that I didn't eat until late afternoon. Around 3 p.m., my stomach started making loud noises during a meeting, and I realized I had completely forgotten lunch.
That happens to a lot of people when they're busy. It's a perfect real-life example of not until. The action finally happens at that moment after a long stretch without it.
I'm starting to see a pattern. Until always focuses on the time period leading up to something, not the deadline itself.
Exactly. Think of until as a road you travel continuously. The action keeps going along that road and stops when you reach the destination time.
So if I say I'll stay here until 6, it means I remain here the whole time and leave at 6. But if I say I'll be there by 6, it means I arrive before or at 6.
Perfect contrast. That distinction is one of the most important differences learners need to master because both sentences can refer to the same clock time, yet the meanings are completely different.
It's amazing how just changing one word can change the whole picture. One sentence focuses on arrival, the other focuses on staying.
Exactly. Now, let's bring from back into the conversation because from helps us complete the timeline, while until marks how long something continues, from marks the starting point, and very often it appears together with to in a time range. I work from 9 to 5. The store is open from Monday to Saturday. The event runs from June to August.
So if I say I worked from Monday to Wednesday, Monday is the start, Wednesday is the end, and the entire period is included.
Exactly. And you can combine these words naturally in a single idea. I worked from Monday until Wednesday and finished the project by Wednesday evening. See how all 3 words describe different parts of the same timeline?
That actually makes everything click in my head. From is the starting point, until is the duration, and by is the final deadline.
Perfect. And in the next part, we're going to explore even more everyday uses of from, including origin, materials, and cause. So you'll be able to use these three words confidently in almost any conversation.
All right, I'm ready. Let's dive deeper into from, because I know it's common, but I feel like I still don't use it as naturally as I should.
That's very normal. One of the most basic uses of from is to show origin, where someone or something comes from. For example, I'm from Melbourne. She's from Brazil. This letter is from my friend.
I like how simple that is. If someone asks, "Where are you from?" they're asking about your origin, your starting place.
Exactly. And we also use from for the source of something, not just people. For example, I got this idea from a podcast. This gift is from my sister. We received news from the office this morning.
That makes sense. It's always pointing back to the source, where it started.
Right. Another important meaning is materials, what something is made from. For example, wine is made from grapes. Paper is made from wood. Cheese is made from milk.
I've also heard people say made of. Is there a difference?
Yes, there is a small difference. We usually say made from when the original material changes so much that you can't see it anymore, like grapes becoming wine. We say made of when the material is still visible, like a chair made of wood. But in everyday conversation, people sometimes mix them, so don't worry too much about perfection.
Good to know. I always like understanding the difference, even if people don't always follow it strictly.
Now, here's another extremely useful use of from, to show cause. For example, I'm tired from working all night. My legs hurt from running. She was smiling from excitement.
That one feels very natural. Earlier, I said my neck was stiff from sitting too long, and I didn't even think about it. It just came out automatically.
Exactly. Because from often appears when we explain why something happened. The word after from tells us the reason. For example, he felt sick from eating too much. The windows were wet from the rain. I learned a lot from that experience.
I like that last one. I learned a lot from that experience. It sounds reflective, like something you'd say after finishing a big project.
Definitely. Now let's connect everything we've learned by building a small story using by, until, and from together. Listen carefully. Last week, I had to submit my lesson plans by Thursday, so I worked on them from Monday to Wednesday. I stayed at my desk until midnight each night, and by Thursday morning, I was exhausted from all the writing, but everything was finished by the deadline.
That example really ties everything together. Let me try another one. I studied from 6 p.m. until 10 p.m., and I finished the assignment by the end of the night. I was completely tired from concentrating for so long.
Perfect sentence. You used all three words naturally and correctly.
I'm starting to feel much more comfortable with them now. It's like seeing a timeline in my head. From shows the start, until shows the continuing action, and by shows the final point where something must be done.
That's exactly the mental picture you want. Now let's do a quick real-life comparison to make the difference even clearer. Imagine your friend says, "I'll be at the office until 5. That means they remain there continuously and leave at 5 p.m. But if they say, "I'll be at the office by 5 p.m., it means they will arrive there before or at 5 p.m.
Same time, different meaning. Arrival versus staying. That's a really important distinction.
Yes, and learners who master this difference sounds immediately more natural in conversation. Now, before we wrap up, let's summarize the big idea. From equals starting point or source. Until equals duration, how long something continues. By equals deadline or final required time.
I like to imagine a journey. From is where the journey begins, until is the road you travel, and by is the finish line you must reach.
That's a beautiful metaphor and an easy one to remember. Now, here's a quick challenge for everyone listening. Try to make one sentence using all three words, from, until, and by, to describe your day or your schedule this week. For example, I'll work from Monday until Thursday and finish the project by Friday.
That's a great practice exercise. And the more you notice these words in everyday conversations, emails, messages, meetings, the faster they'll become natural for you.
Exactly. Small grammar details like these make a big difference in sounding clear and confident. Thanks for joining us today on Tune in English.
If you enjoyed this episode, share it with a friend who's learning English. And don't forget to subscribe so you can keep improving a little every day.
See you next time.
Bye, everyone.